set up. All right. Perfect. I don't really know where to start this. My name is Ethan. My last name is Gara Arce. I am a first generation Cuban, American Cuban, right? So I come from an immigrant family. Of course, I look disheveled because I've been outside all day. I was walking around, but that's not important. What is important is what I have recently been seeing. Well, not recently. This it's been going on since like fucking forever, right? But politics in our society, uh, specifically politics in the American government, is more divided than ever, right? And there are many cases, many things that people can say where a house divided against each other cannot stand. There's things to be said about the right, the left. I don't I don't really care. Um, I'm a moderate. I vote. Well, I'm going to vote. I'm 17, by the way. I'm very young. I'm a Gen Z, late Gen Z. I don't really care about the. How do we say this? The beliefs that one side is better than the other. No, I don't. I don't give a shit. Cause let's be real here. They're both crazy. Like, at the end of the day, both sides have things that are bad about them. The right now is just a lot more aggressive, per se, which is why I'm leaning left, personally. I think, let's just get the obvious things out the way. Everyone should have autonomy over themselves. Like, no, women should not be forced to not be able to get abortions. Like, guys, they represent 50% of world population. They deserve rights. Um, what else? Other than women, immigrants, like my family, we are legal. Uh, well, my parents are legal. I was born, so of course I'm legal. I was born on U.S. soil. Um, they immigrated legally, and it was so I could have a better life, so my siblings could have a better life. I am one of four, so I think I have a voice in saying this shit about ICE, the deportations, the all that stuff. Look, I get it, right? Logically, I understand where they're coming from. They believe that immigrants are. Okay, I partially believe them. So they believe that immigrants are stealing American culture, which is inane. I think it's stupid. I think it's insane because America is a melting pot of culture. I don't know if you were born like 2 days ago. Um, America was built on immigration. Like, guys, settlers, German settlers, Italian settlers, these Chinese workers, like, guys, they make up our workforce. We have cultural enclaves all over the states. Chinatowns are literally just sanctioned, like, literally cultural enclaves. We have Mexican restaurants everywhere. We have Cuban restaurants everywhere. We have so many enclaves everywhere. And claiming that they're changing American culture is adaptive, guys. I don't know if you've realized this yet, but there is no American culture. It's a mix. There is no like pure American culture. Like, there is no pure white. There is no pure American. Americans were British. They were British. They were British settlers mixed with Spaniard and French. Because those are the three powers that controlled the new world, right? But that's enough of that. The other thing is that like they're committing crimes, we can't identify them. They're like, I guess, influencing the economy. I'm not an economist. I don't have a degree. I'm just a dude, so I can't really speak to that. What I can speak to is what I believe is a good thing about illegal immigrants. It's that, yes, I mean, the criminals, yeah, deport them. I'm not against that. Like, if they're committing crime, hurting people, and generally doing damage to the U.S., yeah, they gotta go. But it's the ones that are just working. The ones that are just working don't deserve it. Like, they contribute to the economy more than you think. Our buildings, right? Let's just go down some of the stereotypes, right? There are so many stereotypes. So many, right? Mexicans are known to be the builders, the construction workers, right? But it's not just Mexicans, it's all the Hispanics. All the Hispanics. Oh my god, my fucking hair is insane. But all the Hispanics are known to be just builders, right? They build our houses, they build our fucking offices, all those ivory towers that the fucking 1% sit on. Like, I don't know what to say, right? The Chinese fill our workshops, right? This is the Chinese sweatshop thing has been a stereotype since the fucking dawn of man, right? I'm being hyperbolic, of course, but dude, they fill our workhouses. Not even just them, everyone fills our workhouses, right? What else? Italians. The Italians are known to be like mobsters. Mobsters are bad, right? Obviously. But you also have to understand that they're also very strong and combined. Like, most ethnic groups have communal unity, I would like to say, like familial unity. Italians take that to another level, right? And that's a good thing for the economy. You want to know why? Oh, hey, insert Italian name here. I actually need like fucking 3 more workers because these guys, like, they had to go do something else. Ring ring. Oh yeah, I got you, bro. Yeah, me and my cousin, fucking Tony, and Tony. Well, we got you, bro. We got it, right? Goods and services are provided by people. Getting rid of those people means less goods and services, which means a shittier economy. I'm pretty sure that's obvious, and I'm 17. What else about economy? Oh, yes. Guys, stop getting into fucking war. Like, what are you doing? We have spent $70 billion on the Israeli war within the past 2 months. Maybe 3 by now, but still. That is... Guys, I don't think you understand how crazy that is. Bernie Sanders had a proposal to pay for people's colleges. Free education. Yo, if I got free education, I would be ecstatic. I would be so happy. That ain't happening. Now, I'm going to get student debt. Like, that's... I'm not gonna try to say, like, I'm gonna get a full ride scholarship. It ain't happening, bro. I got, like, a 3.0 GPA. I'm in student council. I got a few extracurriculars, right? I'm in a good spot, but it's not full ride scholarship, right? And if I were to able to get all of that paid off, right, and I could just go to college and not have to worry about being in debt for the next, like, 10 years of my life post-college, dude, it would be so nice. I would be able to just spend money. It would go into the economy. It'd be amazing, and no one would bother me, right? I wouldn't have to pay debt. I wouldn't have to do that, right? You know how much that would cost? At least according to what I've read online, because I read, and that's how I get most of my information, because I don't know. how else am I gonna get it? Like, there's the British are coming. Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. So that would have cost around $50 billion. Now, if you're the astute listener, right? If you're the astute listener, you would have heard me say that we've spent $70 billion. I'm gonna let that sink in, and I'm just not gonna say anything about that. Next thing, I've gone over social, I've gone over economic. Yes, political. Guys, it's safe to say that diplomatically, America is not in a good position. We have tariffs everywhere. We tariffed our own allies, making everything pricier. I'm not an economist. Again, I don't know how tariffs work exactly. I've just played like Victoria 3, and I kind of know how it works. But basically, from my knowledge as a 17-year-old who's played historical games, right? Tariffs make it more, depending on if you put it on import or export. If you put it on import, it makes it more expensive for producers to import like the raw goods needed to manufacture things. So, for example, Canadian lumber, right? If we put tariffs on that, lumber companies in America, it's going to cost them more to import Canadian lumber into the United States. And what that means is that they're going to make it more expensive. That's literally simple, basic, like, reasoning. That's logic, right? If I need to spend X amount of money, I know I was going to talk about, like, politics and shit, but this is kind of part of it. Sorry, I guess. But, if I'm gonna, okay, let's say I'm running a lemonade stand, right? And lemons cost $1. And with one lemon, I can get 4 cups of lemonade, right? Simple math, because I'm not gonna do anything too complex. This is literally just me talking to myself, probably. I don't know if I'm gonna upload this. Right. So 1-to-4 ratio, right? If I'm a company, my job is to make profit. So if I want to get at least minimum returns, right? We're gonna say we're just gonna take water out of the equation. Water is gonna be fucking free 99, right? So I would put the lemonade if I want to make just base returns at 25 cents. Yeah, 25 cents. Okay, because then it would be 25 times 4, which is 100, which is $1, and that would give me back my returns, and I can give infinite lemons, infinite, right? But I'm a company, so I want to make more money. I want to profit. So we're going to put it a little bit higher than just getting my returns. We're going to do maybe 5 cents more, maybe 30 cents. I don't know. Maybe even like fucking 10 cents more. Now here's what the tariffs do. Instead of having those low prices, maybe just a smidge more expensive than you might think, right? Because 5-10 cents, it's not that much. It's just to give you a perspective on things. Let's say to import those lemons now, right? From I don't know, Russia, right? We're getting those primo Russian lemons. It now costs 20% more to get the lemon, right? So we go from $1 to $1.20. What that means is that my previous amount of 25 cents to 30 to 35 cents, like that range, will no longer bring me a profit. And as a company, if we're not making profit, we're going to go bankrupt. Capitalism is based on exponential growth. Like, you have to keep growing and growing and growing, or it just doesn't work. When you get stagnant, the company dies. So you know what I got to do? Make it more expensive. And that means the average person, Joe Schmo, comes around the corner expecting his 30-cent lemonade and to see it's now like 70 cents, right? And Joe Schmo is probably gonna have a problem with that. He's gonna be like, "Oh man, why are these lemons like 40 cents more expensive? I came here like every day, man. I'm gonna have to. The business is gonna be like, well, I mean, we just gotta raise the prices, right? But the businesses don't usually do that. They just raise the prices, and whoever cares can go screw themselves. Like that's just how it is. Um, but yeah, that's gonna be my end politically for now, or like economically for now, unless I have something else that I want to say. Politically, right? The tariffs I just talked about. Now, what I think about pulling out of NATO, I don't think that was like a wise thing to say because I knew Trump wanted to pull out of NATO like a while ago. I read it when it was first coming out. Even though we fund most of NATO, leaving it is not a good idea because of two reasons. Number one, we put a strain on the relationships with every other member. Oh shit! Oh, I dropped my remote, guys. Technical difficulties, but we put a strain on the relationship with every other member country. That's literally a fact. It's like, so I know history, right? I'm a big fan of history, specifically history around the World Wars and like World War II specifically. Yes, I'm a fan of like that kind of history, war history, right? To put it simply, right? Imagine if the Allies, right? Imagine if America was gonna send all these guys over, all these supplies. Like we're gonna help these guys. We're gonna stop these fascists, right? And then Great Britain is like, yeah, actually, yeah, you're on your own, pal. And they just leave the treaty. Like that would be devastating. That would be. We would probably lost World War II. I'm not gonna lie, but what I'm trying to say is that like you're damaging relations with every other country, and usually when people hate you, they band up against you, and that's not good. And I don't know if I want to go through America one versus like 180 other countries. Like that's not good. Number two is generally you're making yourself seem like a conqueror, and that's it's not necessarily a bad thing, at least in my opinion, because for like what I believe is that world peace will never truly be achieved unless like there's one big ass war with each other, or we discover some sort of alien life and they start fighting us. So we have to all band up together and make like a federation. That's what I believe. And right now we're kind of leaning towards the conqueror route where we're all fighting each other. I don't I don't think it's a good idea right now because if we pull out of like nuclear treaties, all this other stuff, keeping the balance of power stable, what's to say they won't strike first? Like, dude, if we pull out of like a nuclear treaty, that applies to both of us. Like, they're not gonna be restricted with using nukes anymore. Like, fallout could happen. Like, like we can have a cyberpunk universe happen, guys, with like technology. We have implants. We have all that kind of stuff. But I'm rambling. That's irrelevant right now. Just, I don't think it's a good idea. On another note, the wars that we're in, that why? I don't see it. Like there's no reason. There's no reason. Trump has said himself that we haven't won enough. Now I'm gonna take that the way I take it, and I'm gonna tell you how I take it, and you can take it how you want to take it. When you say we haven't won enough, to what end is that enough? You've already threatened to wipe the civilization off the map, which is, I'm pretty sure, a war crime. Um, if you actually do it, because you would be like, that would be genocide, and that's bad, right? Now, if it's just to get an unconditional surrender, why? I don't see a point in being in this war. I feel like we need to focus on internal relations. Like, dude, government, guys, I don't think y'all have noticed. People hate each other. A lot. There's a lot of hate going around right now. Everywhere. Everywhere, man. People are more divided than ever, and you're gonna waste your time fighting some other country or helping fight some other country. Why? For oil? For their resources? Dude, we're literally one of the biggest trade powers in the world. Like, resources are not a problem. Literally not a problem. Same thing with Venezuela. Wait, was it Venezuela? I think it was Venezuelan oil or something like that. Like, we invaded, we killed their president, and everyone, like, they were all celebrating and shit. I think it was not our place to do that. Yes, the people were celebrating, but at the same time, like, you're puppeting their government. That's not cool. Not cool. And I mean, if you're going the conqueror route and we're gonna start fighting everyone, yeah, go for it then, I guess, because, like, fucking hell, who's gonna stop you, right? But if we're gonna be peaceful for now, or like for however long this, we want the peace to last, puppeting their government is gonna incite a revolt. That's just how, like, forcing people to do things they don't want to do works. Like in Vichy, France, like the resistance against the Nazis. Now, I'm not gonna use extremist language because I'm a moderate. At least I believe myself to be a moderate. I just think that the people on the far ends of the political compass are slightly crazy. Slightly. Uh, yeah, I don't understand why we're in these wars. I don't, just a random Joe Schmo, like, I don't have access to important like classified documents saying, like, this is a really good idea, and I don't have like $1 billion given to me by, like, lobbyists, so I have no reason to lie. Uh, yeah, I don't see the point. I really don't. What else do I want to? Oh, technology. Okay, this one is a fun one. I really like the way that technology is going. We've at least in relation to AI and implants, because I think that's really cool. We're making people walk again. People can see. Like, that shit is amazing. However, at what point do we want to acknowledge the reality of, like, this might become Cyberpunk 2077? Like, we're gonna have corpo chips in our brain, guys, and, like, that's not for me. Not for me, guys. In terms of AI, I think that's really cool. I think that's gonna help us expand into, like, a type 1 or like maybe even type 2 civilization within the next like 100, 200, freaking 300 years, because I'm not going to be alive by the time we colonize like our solar system. Guys, let's be real here. Elon Musk said we were going to do it by like 2018. It's 2026. We're not even on the moon, like colony. We don't have a colony on the moon yet. AI might help us do that because they're silicon based and not carbon based. And I think that the moment, this is my personal taste, right? This is my personal taste. I don't like, you guys don't have to believe in what I believe, of course, because we're different people. And I'm always down to talk about it, just probably not right now because I'm got some personal shit going on, but that's, ignore that. I think that the moment the AGI comes into existence, AGI, for people who don't know, are artificial general intelligences. They're basically just humans. Like, they can think like us, they can act like us, they're autonomous for the most part. There needs to be a serious ethical debate on whether or not to give them the same rights as humans, because if we create a device that is capable of suffering and the only thing it ever knows is suffering, it's gonna fight back. That's what revolts are, guys. That's what's been happening all throughout human history. The Cuban Revolt, the American Revolution, the frickin' revolution, the like resistances of history. Like, those are all because people are oppressed and they don't want to be oppressed. And the moment we create something that has the capability of suffering, we need to ask that question. And I believe that the answer is yes. They should probably get rights. That's just me. What else? Oh, yes. The reason I did this was because I was a little bit more background on myself. I am a member of my student government. I am the treasurer, and because I am the treasurer, I know just a little bit about economy, guys. I do the budgeting. Our last, shall you say, our last officers, they wanted to do a lot of big things, and we didn't have the money to do that. And we didn't even have a treasurer position last year. They made it for me. Or they brought it back for me because I was like, hey guys, it don't work like that. Like, we need money to do cool shit. And I think we need to apply that line of thinking a lot more to not government, because governments are meant to serve the people, but I believe that the economists probably need to have a little bit more say in government, because like, we don't want to run the government like a corporation, but at the same time we also want the government to do things that benefit the common people, and usually the benefits are based on corporations, because corporations control most of the economy. Like, you're not gonna see Joe Schmo selling like 90% of the I don't know, hardware that we use in our computers, right? No, that's a company. That's like the Arasakas of today's world, right? The Militex. However, there should be like no absolute monopolies. Then we just get Arasaka, and then we die, and we have the first corporate war, and then the second, third, and fourth, and then we're in Night City, guys. Yeah, there definitely needs to, especially in the housing market. I've read a lot about the housing market. Yo, there's like 5 companies that control like all of it. That needs to stop, because that means the housing prices can just keep going up, and I don't want to be renting. I want to own my house. My parents own this house. I want to own the house. Like, I want to be secure. I'm not going to be like having my kids moving place to place growing up. That's sad. I don't think he realized, like, hold up.